I'm Quinn Vale, 32 years old, a marketing manager in Boston whose career has soared far faster than I ever dreamed. I paid my parents nearly $170,000 mortgage every month for 6 long years, never questioning or hesitating because I believed it was simply what my family did. After that, they signed over the house to my sister as a wedding present, disregarding my efforts and treating them as if they were nothing more than spare change. It felt like a slap to everything I had worked for. A week later, their audacity grew even larger. After everything I had done, they called and demanded to move into my vacation home on Cape Cod. They acted as though it was their natural move. This time I abruptly ended it without hesitation or apology. My father then snapped at that point. I was struck across the face by his outstretched hand. The sting was more severe than any previous insult. It wasn't just the pain. It was realizing how far they were prepared to go. The tipping point came that evening. Years of unspoken resentment and buried betrayal came rushing to the surface. The subsequent events not only altered the balance of our relationship, but also turned it on its head. I was no longer their quiet supporter. I was a person who was ready to stop. Please let me know in the comments what time it is, where you are watching, and which city you are in before we begin my story. I want to know just how far this story has reached. Let me take you back to where it all began. A small house in the suburbs of Seattle, where my family once believed that love and sacrifice were enough to hold everything together. That house was nothing fancy. It was just a ranch-style home with 3 bedrooms and a quiet neighborhood with good schools and quiet neighbors. We scraped by on my parents' paychecks, always one unexpected bill away from real trouble. Mom worked the register at a corner grocery store, ringing up canned goods and lottery tickets for folks who looked as tired as she felt by the end of her shift. Dad observed drivers of trucks driving long hauls across the Pacific Northwest. He had calluses on his hands from holding the wheel as he drove down highways through endless rain. With the exception of luxuries, they invested everything in keeping the lights on and food on the table. Birthdays meant homemade cake from a mix, and vacations were day trips to the nearest park if the weather held. When Dad lost his job, everything changed. Harold Baxter had spent 3 decades hauling freight for the same company, rising before dawn to dodge traffic on I-5 and collapsing into bed after 14-hour runs. By that time, he was well into his 60s, and years of loading pallets and maneuvering tight turns had already hurt his back. Overnight, automation was disabled at the plant, and cheaper international routes cost him his severance pay, a joke, barely enough to cover groceries and utilities for a couple of months. Mom, Karen Baxter, tried picking up extra hours at the store,